Okay, so I recently had a pretty big doll destash, which helped me, not only free up some space, but also focus on what kind of dolls I want and things like that. And then even more recently, Pandor had a doll destash, which I restrained myself. I did not grab everything I wanted, but I did get some, and I'm gonna open those up and share them with you now. Now, I do have an idea what's in here because they are dolls that I requested, ordered, paid for. So, I'm going to dig around a bit. Who I'm looking for. There is the one I want to start with. Pandor is also an artist under the name Kate Larson. You can find on, I think, Redbubble and other places like that. And she does a lot of gay mermaid art. So if that's your thing. And I have a gay mermaid sticker now from Kate that will end up somewhere. Thank you. I'm looking for a specific doll to start with. Oh yeah, this is it. This I probably would have been able to resist. Well, maybe I would have been able to resist this destash, except one of the dolls in the destash was a doll that I actually customized about 10 years ago and think about from time to time. And when I saw this doll in the destash, I said, aha, I can get this doll back. It is a Kern that I rerouted and went wild with the airbrush. I repainted the face, I airbrushed most of the face in a style inspired by Chinese opera, and then I painted the arm with some stripes that I made the mask from masking tape, and I painted stars on the legs with a mask I made from, those foil star stickers that have been around for ages, like usually used for, the basic rewards on schoolwork. Well, of course, I have bought many of those in my life, and some of them the stars overlap each other, so when you take the star off, it's right at the edge of the next star, but this one happened to be stars that were individually delineated on the sticker sheet. So I was able to take that and airbrush the legs with some precisely spaced stars with nice and clear edges. And there's the arm stripes, and here is her Chinese opera style face, or inspired face. And I rerouted her, did this whole custom in 2011, about 10 years ago. So that was before it was easy to find teal hair mixes, teal hair color like you can find for rerouting dolls now. So this is a Restore Doll blend of blue and green to give the teal effect that I know you can get with a single color now. So anyway, here is, and I named her Obedient Child because I believe that is what the name Kern means when you break it down into the individual characters. So I have Obedient Child back. Sorry, now I'm watching the camera facial recognition try to catch up with the moving doll face. So anyway, yes, Obedient Child is back. And I really do want to get back to airbrushing stuff, but our airbrush compressor needs a gasket badly. So I can look at this doll and dream of what I can do. Anyway, alright, Obedient Child. So that is the main reason that I got anything, is so I could get Obedient Child back. And then what else did I get? One thing about Kate Pandor is we have somewhat similar taste in odd dolls. Like, we can appreciate a doll that's not highly articulated, but the doll body has a lot of character, and we like things that are a little fantastic and science fiction and not super realistic. So even if it's not a doll that I made and wanted back, there were dolls that were interesting. Normally I try to save tape, and I don't know why, so I just realized that I can cut through the tape. So okay, Hong Kong. This is a lovely vintage Hong Kong style doll that I'm sure is probably a clone of something, and she is adorable. See if I can clean up the face if that brightens the paint any. I might go over the whites of the eyes to make them whiter. I might darken the lips so they're not such a faded looking pink. And I might someday reroute in a fantasy color because it is me, but she's adorable, so I could not resist. And as you can see, well, if I can hold it from the camera correctly, pretty big. So this should be fun to dress. I'll bet she can wear Barbie size stuff on top and maybe Kirby size stuff lower. I'm getting distracted by all the weird stuff on the legs. This is probably originally a souvenir doll meant to represent Native American, because usually when you find old Hong Kong clone type dolls in darker skin tones, they were usually some sort of souvenir tourism doll, usually representing a Native American or a Pacific Islander. But that does mean that darker skin, older, quirky vintage dolls do exist. And you can take them out of their horrible stereotype clothes and appreciate them as dolls. So yeah. And she has a nice soft head, so it would make her easy to reroute if I ever get around to it. I wonder if I have any wigs though. Yes, I will be going through my wig case to see if I have any wigs to fit her in the meantime. So thank you for that, cutie. I'll wait to see if pin badge. A Rocket Unicorn, I believe, was Kate's old art name. So here's a Rocket Unicorn pin. Thank you. I have a lot of pins. I'm going to make a jacket someday. I used to have a jacket that I had a lot of pins on, and then I got rid of it. It was a thrifted jacket, and I decided against it and got rid of it, and now I'm thinking about making another jacket that I can just cover in pins. Alright, this is, I admit, I picked this one out just for the body. Some of you Monster High people might be aghast at that. I mean, Viperine is cute, and she has a somewhat humid skin tone. So, could be a little more versatile than other Monster High dolls. I mean, you know that I love a fantasy skin tone, so that was never a problem I had with Monster High. I just literally did not like the Monster High body. Usually when I dressed it, I gave it a lot more clothes, so it looked a lot bulkier. But, like I said, I got that doll for the body, and this doll for the head. This is a Disney Descendant body with a classic Obitsu ready rooted, I believe, ready painted doll head. It could be a head that Pandor painted. I couldn't really see up close, but I am kind of lacking in green hair dolls, and I've always liked these classic Obitsu faces. Yeah, Kate did paint this. And Kate is a trained artist, so her paint is always lovely. Let's see if I can get this off without... she trimmed down the Disney Descendant neck knob is horrible. So this is the combination I wanted to do. The bits of head might sit a little far down on the neck, but see the face visible through the emo hair. And that could work. I have discovered that I have cut a Disney Descendant neck, like taken out just a few millimeters, use those few millimeters taken out, melt that in acetone to make a goo to cement the neck back together, and so I made the Disney Descendant neck a little shorter. I might have turned it around so it was a little straighter, and that actually works fairly well with a more standard kind of doll head. So I will definitely use this and probably use this. I don't know, maybe she looks better on the Descendants body. I appreciate that cut in the neck. You know what, actually she does look better on the Descendants body, which is fine. I still wanted this body, and I could use Viperine. I will find replacement feet for this. Actually, yes, so if anyone has a Bitsu head kicking around, their very deep neck well works pretty well with Disney Descendants. It actually looks better in hand than it looked on the screen. So that's cool. And then the last doll is Wild. Again, our appreciation for strange and vintage dolls mixed on modern articulated bodies. This is this creature. Need some tweaking done to get this head on the neck correctly, but this is obviously an early Barbie clone. This head is entirely hard plastic and just so ridiculous. And I will be tweaking this and getting her dressed. And like I said, I was interested in getting these dolls. These are not going to wreck my slightly curated doll assortment that I have after my doll Destash, but they're still going to be fun to play with. So thank you, Kate, Pandor, Pandorful, Pandollop, all your screen names, and actually no, Pandor is going to do another Destash at some point of loose heads and bodies, so I could end up with more curated dolls, and you'll see it when I do. Thanks for watching.